Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Strategy of the Week for Friday, January 3rd, 2014. My name is Dan Misch. I'm the Director of Retirement Services, and I'll take us through tonight's presentation, which we've titled Retirement 2013, Searching for the Best of the Best. As mentioned in the views, we know the overall U.S. markets had a very nice incline for 2013, and the graph in front of you shows our own VectorVest composite from January the 2nd till December 31st, so encompassing the whole year. And from the low point of $29.64 to the closing price of $36.54 on the 31st, that represents an overall 22% rise in our composite. And while we did have some pullbacks throughout the year, overall the market charged ahead, and our own confirmed calls, which we issued 4 of them in 2013, all were very short-lived. And so ideally what we're looking for is some sort of a market timing system, both a signal telling us when to buy and when to sell, and we want to couple that with some money management or stop criteria to see what will allow us to participate in the market's rise. And I've moved us into the Unisearch tab, and since I work with the Retirement Services Department, our focus will be in the Searches Retirement Group, where we currently have 10 different searches, all with their own unique parameters in sort, designed to bring you stocks for your retirement account. And we'll begin here by doing some quick tests with these strategies. So I'll start at the top with Blue Chip Bonanzas, and I'll change our date back to January the 2nd of 2013. Once that's correct, I'll click on Run Search. We get our list of stocks down below, and under Quick Test, once again, we are going to use 5 stocks for our test this evening. And so I've made sure that we are from January through December. Blue Chip Bonanzas, out of the 5 stocks selected, all 5 of them were winners, ranging in gains from 2.5% up to nearly 35.5%. That gives your overall basket an average return of 18.6%. And so the 5 stocks from Blue Chip Bonanzas did a good job keeping pace with that VectorVest composite rise of 22%. And so we performed that same quick test for all the other strategies in the group, except for the first long-term winners you see here, because that search returned only 1 stock on January the 2nd, and so we excluded it from any further testing. And this table shows us the results with the search name, the winners versus losers, our average begin and end price from January through December, and the overall average percent price change. And I have this list in descending order. Our winner for the year was Long-Term Winners 2, with 4 out of 5 winning stocks, rising on average from $168 to $301, with a nearly 59% gain, easily outpacing the other strategies and the VectorVest composite. In second place was Premier Growth Stocks, 5 out of 5 with a 38% overall gain. High VST plus YSG stocks and Vector plus Vector 1.25 both have the exact same numbers across the board, with 5 winning trades and a 27% price change, and that is because they returned the exact same 5 stocks on January the 2nd. And you can see the results for Don's Dividend Dandies, Blue Chip Bonanzas, VST plus YSG Bottom Fishers, and optionable 2x4s shown down below, all with positive results. And one search did lose a little bit of money this year with a 7% loss. That was from high yield 2x10s. And so our focus tonight is going to be on these top 3, which all did better than the VectorVest composite. And again, what our challenge here is to find a market timing signal that will allow us to participate and take advantage of some of these great gains that we see these searches getting from the stocks that they return. And so we've moved over into the back tester, and I've taken those 3 searches of VST plus YSG, Long-Term Winners 2, and Premier Growth Stocks, And these tests number 1 are all not using a timing list. So no market timing is involved here and no stop criteria. You can see your overall gains for the year are right in line with what those quick tests showed us, with long-term winners at nearly 58%. Just a great looking equity curve shown down below. And since there is no market timing or stops, it does have 5 positions in there, all of them purchased right at the beginning of the year, and holding on to some very strong gains, 4 out of 5 winning, with that one loser being down about 19% as of the end of December. And since we are VectorVest, we figure we better incorporate some market timing into our tests. So for test number 2, which we have long-term winners number 2, Premier number 2, and VST plus YSG number 2, we used the confirmed calls timing list over the same dates. So we bought stocks on the issue of a confirmed up, and we went to cash on confirmed downs. And our results were still very strong, anywhere from 18 to 20 to 26% in overall gains. The commissions, of course, were higher because we traded in and out on those confirmed call signals, but still very manageable at $447. And the drawdown stayed from 7 to 13%. So all in all, using our confirmed call signals with those 3 searches worked out great. Next, we took LTW2, Premier, and VST plus YSG and stacked it up versus our DEW timing system. So here we're buying on the DEW up and going to cash on the DEW down over the full year, and this earned us 13, 16, or 23%, all still with very manageable commissions at $547, and the drawdowns get a little bit better from 6.5% to just below 12% for the year. So that market timing signal worked as well. And for our third signal to use, we used the Greenlight Buyer RT Kicker, and this is number 4 for each test. Gains from 17 3/4, 19.5 to just about 25% for the year. Commissions actually went back down into the 447 range, and the drawdown is from 7% to back up over 13. So far, all of these tests have followed our VectorVest mantra of buying rising stocks in a rising market. We've used our market timing lists to identify the rising market overall, and each of these searches has parameters that will ensure we're buying a rising stock. We're back in the Unisearch now, and we're on the search Long-Term Winners 2 or LTW2 in those back tests. And the first parameter for this search is that it has to have a moving average crossover. The 10-day moving average has crossed above the 65-day moving average within the last 5 days. And both averages are moving up. Because this search uses a moving average crossover as the operator, you would need to have ProTrader to access this search. And you can give our offices a call to take out a trial or purchase that product. Coupled with that price movement, these stocks are going to be sorted by their relative value plus their relative safety. So we'll run this search as of the current time frame, 3 o'clock Eastern Time on Friday the 3rd. A lot of these stocks you may recognize due to the strong fundamentals that are required to bring them to the top. And you can see that the RV and RS numbers all range from good to excellent, all above 1. Giving these stocks a very high VST ranking from 1.2 to 1.3. Next, looking at high VST plus YSG stocks, the first parameter here is that the stock's VST must be greater than 1. It has a strong RS as well as earnings growth component, and all of these stocks will be sorted by their VST plus YSG. And once again, running the search as of the current time frame, you'll see very strong VST scores from 1.4 to almost 1.6 from this search group. And our third was Premier Growth Stocks, which is looking for high market cap stocks with a good earnings growth rate And these stocks are going to be sorted by VST times the RT times the CI, or times the relative timing and times the comfort index. And you see a familiar pattern here with these stocks ranging from good to excellent with those good VST scores. So if VST is going to be such a strong component for how we search for and sort our lists of stocks to select, we are going to use VST as that proprietary indicator for telling us when to get out of the stocks. And the idea is, as long as those fundamentals stay strong inside the stocks, the VST should remain up above 1, and you can stay in them for longer periods of time. And so once again, back in the backtester, we are now looking at number 5 for all 3 of those searches. This is also using the confirmed calls timing system with a few changes. Now, instead of going to cash on the confirmed down, we will take no action, and we have put in a stop criteria of using that VST less than 1. And if I open up the settings or the backtester wizard, under automation rules up in the stop criteria tab, I clicked on VST less than, and it's automatically default ranked to less than 1. And on the automation rules down, instead of going to cash, once again, we will take no action. Let the VST manage that portfolio. And so long-term winners 2 returned the exact same amount that it had when we used no stop criteria or market timing at all, nearly 58% for the year. And it came at a cost of only $49.75. 80% of the trades were winners, and the drawdown was 9.4%. Premier growth stocks with also very good returns, 100% winners at 38%, and a 13% drawdown. And VST plus YSG at 27% and an 11.5% drawdown. And so we kept that premise going, doing the same thing with the DEW timing system, where we will not go to cash on a DEW down. We will use that VST of less than 1 as a stop. And you can see whether you're looking at LTW, Premier, or VST, you once again have gains ranging from 58% down to nearly 27%, 80% to 100% winning trades, very low commissions, and very manageable drawdowns. And finally, we did the same thing with the Greenlight Buyer RT Kicker. This is test number 7 for each of those searches. And once again, we have that nearly 58%, 38%, and 27% return, all low commissions and drawdowns. So if I take all those tests we were just looking at, and I realize there's a lot of data on the screen, they're all now sorted by the overall percent gain. And so remember, the unchanging using LTW2 was at that roughly 58%. We found 3 other ways to achieve that same 58%, and not counting the unchanging or non-market timing tests that were run here, we have 12 searches which have done better overall than the VectorVest composite using some form of a market timing signal and or stop criteria. And this LTW2 number 5 is the back test that is linked tonight for you in the VectorVest views, so you can go out and recreate the settings. But you can see once again, this did allow us to participate overall in the market's rise. It's using the confirmed calls timing system. And looking at the 5 holdings in this portfolio, they were all purchased on January the 3rd, so right at the beginning of the year. There's those fantastic gains. And by highlighting all 5 stocks and taking a look at a stock graph, what we have on here is the past year's price performance in red and green candlesticks. And down below we have the overall VST shown on the green subgraph. So for our first stock here, SBS, you can see the VST did come down before charging back up and then down and up, but remained above 1 the whole time. Although this has got to be the worst performer we have in the group. Our next stock, DXPE, very nice rise over the year, and the VST still well up above 1. Of course, Priceline had a huge year and their VST score is still very good. Polaris Industries charging ahead, still with a VST at about 1.33. And MTSC still staying up at 1.22. And out of all the tests that we've run for you here tonight, our worst performer still made 13%. On a $100,000 portfolio, that's $12,950 in gains. That only cost you $547 to make, and you never had too bad of a drawdown, again less than 12%. We are going to keep looking for ways to find you the best of the best. We will be holding a live question and answer webcast on Monday the 6th at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, and you can register at vectorvest.com/events. And I want to once again wish you all a very happy new year, and please join us for the webcast on Monday, and if you have any questions, please call the number on our screen. Thank you.